Welcome back to Taboo Talk. Ashley's struggling to get up right now.
Put you on blast.
She's got a baby in her. You know, it's gonna take a second.
Yeah, he's just down really
He's
low
all kicking
right
and
this second.
stuff. She's like close.
He's
y'all.
learning from someone.
I know everybody keeps up with it. She's very
I'm
close.
not that close.
He's just letting her throw an elbow. Like, ah, I'm not going to go Travis. Ah.
I still have
He's just
9
shadowboxing in
weeks.
the wall.
We've still got 9 weeks.
Yeah, we still got 9 weeks.
Full
He's got
40.
the umbilical cord on his forehead, making it look like a headband.
Well, this is perfect since you're already here. So, cool little update, because it's been a little bit, is my lovely people here asked me to be their child's godfather. So now, even though Ashley hates the throuple jokes, damn on paper, is it really coming closer and closer? In between my name being on the marriage certificate and this.
Your
Does
name
he get
doesn't-
me when you die?
Oh, yeah, you can have him. Thank you for acknowledging that I die first.
Hey, that's perfect because your exact words where you don't want to be replaced. You won't. It'll be a gay relationship where you raise your son.
And a bunch of cats.
Cats.
Hairless cats.
You're
You're
talking about
allergic.
dogs.
Huh?
You're allergic.
I said hairless.
He did
That's
say
why
hairless.
I don't have a cat anymore.
Damn, she got dark real quick.
Speaking of that, get the puppy.
Oh yeah, Luna, come here, baby.
Come here, you little trash.
Y'all seen Luna before? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, she's made her
Been a
appearance
while.
many times.
No. You'll get her.
Little Ricky.
The floof. The
With the
floof.
Karen hair.
She does not have Karen hair.
She did have Karen hair. She doesn't anymore.
did.
It was the
She
ears that
doesn't
was doing it. The ears, like, plus
Except
they're two-toned.
sometimes It would flip over, and I'd be like, "Excuse me, are you an early 2000s emo band?"
Hell yeah.
I would sing My Chemical
My
Romance
bullet
to her.
for my Valentine. I don't know. I think that was actually a band's name. I don't even
It
think that
was.
was. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
That
bad.
was not lyrics at all.
I walk a lonely road, Billy. Green Day. They weren't really emo, were they? My bad.
Strike.
Sorry, Billy. My bad, brother.
Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his full first name is Billy Joe.
Oh, sorry, Billy Joe Armstrong, correct?
Thank you.
Yes. See, I still remember some of that shit. Dude, that's all that was playing at Jacob's wedding, and I was like, fuck yeah, bro.
That's
It was awesome. It was great. Like, at the end, it
We
was
played-
all that. We played Knuck If You Buck.
Yes. That was on my request list. But
That was
I
top of the list.
specifically told Antoine, I was like, this has to be played very late in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Once a lot of the older generation has
Yeah.
left, and once our generation has gotten just balls
Just
to the
imagine
walls
Grandmama
rock.
was out there. What are you bucking when you knuck?
My grandma was dancing to the Nucky Boo Bug. She was dancing the whole night.
Was it Gasolina that came on too?
Yes.
Oh, everybody lost their
Suavemente.
shit. Oh, my hips started. I was getting you a drink. I just hear Suavemente. And I went, oh, shit. And I started walking over and I'm just moving my hips to the dance floor. I'm like, take a shit. Love it.
That's the part of the night that gets real dicey.
Yeah, well,
The
think
fun part of the night.
think for all of us it gets real dicey
Yeah,
at
I
that
don't
point.
remember much after that point. I remember our last dance. That was important to me.
Oh, it was-
remember
I was-
It was great.
I was creepily watching through the window. I was just like the
Were you fogging
steaming
it?
out. Just, I love their love. Oh yes.
Also, just the fact that our last dance was, I'm gonna be 500 miles. And when I told my mom, it's a slowed down version of it. It's
Oh.
beautiful.
I was
By
about to say.
Sleeping It Last. It was from Grey's Anatomy.
I get compared to a doctor from there, and I don't like it.
Owen Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not my favorite.
Oh, that's good to know. That explains a lot.
But I told my mom I'd finally come up with our last dance song, and she was like, "Oh, what's it gonna be?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be 500 miles." And I didn't specify that it was slowed down, and she just kind of looked at me, and I was like,
If y'all had danced to I would have pissed myself.
"Our last dance is just us, just like
Just tore. I'm
at
just
each
Tina.
other."
Y'all are just like slowly just stepping. I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500.
It's a beautiful song.
Don't
in all
copyright claim me,
actuality.
please. Sorry.
But
The
no,
way you were singing, nobody's.
Yeah, I would
gonna
hope
copyright
not.
we do need to specify though that when you received the wine bottle asking you to be the Godfather, that you read it multiple times and still had no idea. what
Yeah,
you
it
were
was.
asking.
I was very confused. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't
Exactly.
prepared for it. See, here's the one, and y'all keep giving me liquor. Do y'all think I drink a lot? I appreciate
No,
it.
because those
but-
are things that even if you don't use them, they look.
Big
You
cool
can
decoration.
display
I've got them on my
them
shelf.
like
Yeah.
that.
And to be fair, y'all each time y'all have picked liquor I like in between salted caramel whiskey and rosé. thank you.
I told you.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I know-
I'll have
I
to
know
show
my
the.
mans.
I'll have to show the bottle or something. But it was lovely, and y'all did it so cute too. Where it was like a request you can't refuse, and then it said The Godfather. My dumb ass literally looks at the bottle. I was like, "Are we watching the fucking Godfather tonight?"
I
Like,
can't
what a way
take all
to.
credit for that. Though.
What a way to
What a way to.
introduce that.
What a nice way to say, "Hey, we're watching a movie tonight."
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is invite you over, give you wings and a bottle of wine. That's like, this is our movie selection for the evening.
That's not a bet. Wings and wine.
We have a new
That
podcast.
was a good.
Wings and wine is the new podcast.
Yo!
It's just you and I doing a mukbang eating.
We'll be right back. We're about to order Wingstop and get it run out of the store.
Okay, first of all, no, I'm adding myself to that one.
Yes.
And it has to be in 2 months when I can drink alcohol
Absolutely.
again.
Like
Like
that'll Taboo Talk Wings and Wine episode.
My sweet little baby cousin asked me to be a bridesmaid in her wedding, and there's a wine bottle in like a little, one of the mini bottles in the proposal box, and he immediately goes, "I'll drink that." And I said, "It'll sit in the fridge for 2 more months, and then I will drink that." I have a bottle of champagne sitting in there from New Year's.
You do have the cutest way of like asking anything.
Oh, I get
To
it
be
all from
fair.
Etsy. I don't.
I believe you.
I make it myself, but
Yeah.
I look it up. And finding a way to ask somebody to be a god dad versus a god mom was very difficult.
To be fair, y'all could have just said, "Would you be the Godfather?" And I would have been like,
To be fair, that was my idea.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't come up with the plan.
Yeah,
believe you.
I just signed the cards.
You don't even do that.
I have terrible handwriting.
I sign it.
Yes,
Jose
it's a lot
Guerrero
nicer.
just so prettily written. It's like, what the fuck?
I got a soft hand.
Yeah, I've gotten real good. I now sign everything also from Jude, so I've gotten real good at
I
like
love that.
he's here.
I know.
He's here.
He's literally weeks away. Not
9
months anymore. Weeks away.
9 weeks
Mm-hmm.
ish. Be 31 weeks this weekend.
Imagine you're watching me fight, and you're like, "All right, and fighting out of the blue court, Travis. Jose, my wire just broke. Oh, fuck!"
You're actually
Well, that
fighting the
would
day
be
of.
on his actual due date, so I don't.
Who knows?
You're on the day,
Yeah.
so you'll probably be getting a FaceTime.
My doctor did. I brought up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I brought up that his 30th birthday is 2 days prior to his due date, and my doctor looked at me and goes, "We could arrange them to have the same birthday." And I was like, "Talk to me closer."
What is
to
he in the
due date."
fucking mafia? Yes, I could arrange that.
Listen, I get to throw one party for 2 fools.
Yeah.
And it could be Power Ranger theme, and they're both gonna like it.
First of all, it would be centered around Jude more than it would be centered around you. So
Exactly.
Well, Jude would
I'm
like
already
everything
planning
that
his
I
first
like.
birthday. So, and for his
July 31st, I'm starting season 1 of Mighty Morphin, so I don't know what you're talking about. We're starting young.
I've already
got a lot of
planned-
This
catching up
is
to.
Brian Cranston. He will become much more famous later in life.
I'm sleeping. I'm just asleep while him and the baby. It's like 3 a.m, and he's like,
And
and
this
that
is
person is-
Digimon. We're gonna
Dimma
watch the
Digimon?
Did you ever watch Digimon?
Digimon? Yes.
That's what I
Not
said.
Dimma Digimon.
He just
Listen.
struggled there. It's okay.
I choked on my gum.
Okay. Is that what happened?
Yes.
And when Jose chokes, you know he goes, Dimmy.
Had a
Dimmy
brain
what?
fart.
Who? More? Demi Lovato?
Ooh.
No. Have you seen
They.
it?
They.
Sorry, yeah,
They?
they lately.
Them. Have you seen them would be the correct.
Ooh. Oh, I thought I stepped on your foot.
You did, but
Not
he
me, it
kicked
was my
me
boy.
at the same time.
We're tag teaming.
Well, I guess since that was the first thing I was going to bring up, because this is the first place I'll officially announce it, we just fought, we'll get into that, but I am fighting again July 30th at the Statler in Dallas against another guy I like. I got to stop fighting people I like. His name's Chad Box. He's a gangster, badass dude, but yeah, I will be... You let me FaceTime you if he does come that day, because I'll do it. If that happens before, I'm going to just be like, I don't know if I can be here. I'm being in the ring. I got Studs being born! I got Studs being born! Miss St. John, are you ready? I got Studs being born!
Let me tell you, if he is, whether he's here or not, I will not be at that fight.
No, I don't expect you to be.
I survived the last one in the heat, standing at 7 months pregnant.
You're such a trooper.
I was. I got IHOP after. It was worth it.
So let's get into that while you are perfectly right here. So I did just recently fight on May 8th?
No, May 7th.
May 7th. Yes, because it was exactly a week removed from a year last time I was there.
Well, it was the day before Mother's Day, which was May 8th.
That too. I did fight. I won. Yay.
It was a high. No, I lost my shit.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Is so, neither of you had seen me fight in person.
No,
You've seen me fight live because you've watched streams, but you haven't seen me fight in person. How do you... Obviously, you have other things to worry about. How did you do?
I did fine.
Yeah.
He did not.
How did you do?
I did decent.
Yeah.
Like, when I watch you fight, because we watched the pay-per-view last time, I was just more concerned that you did not get hurt in the ring.
Yeah.
That was all I was really, like,
I think all my
concerned
friends are going to
with.
have that trauma after me slipping and breaking
Where
my
this
leg.
one couldn't sit. He was up, he was down, he was talking to you like he was a foot away from you, and I was like, you're ruining this for me, like, I can't. But this time, I recorded it because Clark couldn't be there. We wanted to make sure he got video of it, and my parents wanted to watch it but didn't come out that night, so I sent it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of focused me. Plus, also, you fought really late in the card.
I did.
And I was very tired by that point.
I think I predicted on the dot where I was like, it's probably going to fight at 9. And I think I literally started the fight at like 9:03 or 9:05 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it was nice because all the fights before you
Went quick.
very quick.
Very quick.
Because I probably would have fought like 9:45 or 10.
I
if
think
not.
there was one match that was
That went-
maybe in the second round.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
was
only
very
one.
early.
I was the only decision on the card. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody else was getting finished.
There was
quick.
one that was like 47 seconds and it was done.
Which,
Ooh,
if
yeah.
you want to talk about, we'll get into that, but if you want to talk about it from the fight perspective, being backstage and like seeing the fighters go out and then 5 minutes later they're like, oh, it's already over. I'm like, what the, like, just everybody's getting finished back to back to back. You're like, oh god, I hope I don't get finished in the first round.
I think the very first one, the dude got knocked out within 30 seconds.
He did.
no,
because
no, that one was a little bit later. The first one went for like a minute and a half.
It was the second one because I know that kid. He knocked him out in like 47 seconds
Yeah, it
or
was
something,
insane.
or less than 20. I think.
No,
I think it was 17.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because I know his coach is a good friend of mine. His name's Adam Nelson Clemento. What up, brother? He owns TBT Gym in McKinney, and I saw him there, and I was like, brother, this fucker's 6'6". So I'm like, brother, and every time I see him, I'm like. You know, because I'll say I tell every promoter I'll fight anybody from cruiserweight to heavyweight, but if you give me a 6'6" motherfucker with who's 265 with abs, absolutely
That's
not.
what's really going to throw Jude off when he meets Travis for the first time because, like,
I'm large.
I'm short. You're not that tall. Our parents aren't that tall.
Jose's.
I'm
in
average.
comparison to you.
I'm average.
Yeah.
My brother's pretty tall, but then Travis is going to walk in and Jude's going to be like, what is this?
That's my favorite thing is meeting babies or little kids, and then I pick them up for the first time, and they look around and they're like, I've never been this high.
Very far from the ground
This
right
is
now.
this is. I can see all the things. I can see on top of the fridge. What in the world? That or they see me and they're like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, no, and they walk away from me.
Good thing he can't see very far within the first few weeks. So
Good to know.
their sight is very, very close. And they can only see, they can't see a lot of colors.
I will
for a
always spritz my cologne and just like be close to him. Know my scent. What?
He's not
Jake
your
from Hollister.
child.
I know, but I'm Uncle Trav.
And this is why
And I will be at every single intersport game that there is.
And this is why Travis does not know where the extra key to my house is. Because he would just show up.
So that you know.
Could you tell me where the extra key
I love you didn't even shake your head. You just vibrated a little bit. You're like, yes.
is? Nobody knows where that is.
Travis does.
Oh my god.
Someone needs to in case something happens.
Yeah, what if something happens?
My parents have it.
What if Jose's locked down in traffic? I almost said in Travis, and I was like, oh, that's a different story.
Ooh.
What if Jose is locked down in traffic, and you're like, my parents are on vacation. What the fuck do I do? Hold on, give me a second. You get a call 2 minutes later. I'm on my way! You're on the ground. I'm coming to get you. Kick open the door like a fucking superhero. Oh, let's go!
Remind me that Travis does not know I'm in labor.
I run you to the hospital. Let's take the car. We'll get there quicker. I can serpentine.
Dallas.
Because let me tell you, I don't know what I'm going to be like in labor, but I can tell you this energy is not what I'm going to want.
You're doing great. I believe in you.
Just breathe. You're gonna be all right.
I'll do it with you.
I don't know what I'm going to need, but it's not that.
Yeah, it's definitely not my ass.
Good hype man.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be like sitting there and just pushing the baby out, and you're like, and everything's gonna be calmed down, and then Jose's just gonna move a phone next to your ear, and you're gonna hear, "You're doing great! I won!"
What's the one rule we have during labor? What's the one rule we have during labor?
Can't live tweet it.
Me.
Oh, fuck.
No
No,
phones.
I don't do well with pain.
Well, yeah.
I don't. This is a first-time experience for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea what's going to happen
Yeah.
in that time. So I need all of his focus on me.
Mm-hmm.
Me only. Because I know as soon as Jude's out, I will never have his focus again.
Oh no.
So glad it's a boy. So good to be Queen Bee around this house for a little while longer.
Excuse you?
Oh, that's the court jester. She is.
Yeah.
She's nowhere near Queen Bee.
Hey, if anybody's court jester.
Jose likes to.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I refer to her as
She's
our
a
fur
duchess.
child. I refer to her as our fur child, and Jose refers to her as our mascot.
That's a good one, too.
No, she's family.
Yeah, and every family's got a mascot.
What?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
You got your brother. I have.
It's Bear. Come on now. That's a good
True.
fucking joke.
I made like a cute little sign that's in our hallway that says like Jose, Ashley, Jude, and I said I'm putting Luna's name on it. And he goes, I assumed you would. So it literally has all
Yeah.
4, and I'm like, oh, my 2 children.
She walks past one day just in Sharpie. Travis.
If you do it to that
Pencil like real small.
that particular painting took me so long.
It's glow in the dark, so it doesn't come on until the lights come on.
Even better.
Black light.
Even better, I like prolong the joke, and like 2 years down the line, you're arguing with me about something, and I'm like, "Hey, my name's on the family emblem too," and you're like, "What the fuck?" And you turn it around, and my name is Travis, written on the back.
In like the worst handwriting possible.
Yes,
too.
because
Like-
my handwriting is Comic Sans. It's ridiculous. Like it looks just terrible. Absolutely.
What does she need now?
Wow.
She only is needy when we're.
I love that. I would love. Imagine if Jose was like that, where he was just like. He didn't say anything. He just.
I would just look at him though. That one can't get herself water. He can.
He just.
Did you get it out of the sink?
If we make one accessible for puppies.
Did you get that out of the sink?
Huh?
She gets filtered water.
No, it's to build her immune system.
That's why she drinks the rainwater outside.
And eats the tree barks.
She has a bowl out there that we don't always fill because we're not always out there. But every
Yeah.
time it rains, it gets filled, and she goes out there and she's like, "Ooh, a treat."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "It's disgusting."
Because
Like,
outside water is different than inside water to dogs.
yeah, she will have not drank anything inside, and then we take her outside and she's stomping in that bowl like, "Are you gonna put something in here?" And I'm like,
Where's the rainwater?
We just
Yeah.
came outside. No.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, Jude and I are gonna go watch Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh.
It's the season finale.
Oh, it's still going?
Oh, there's another season. There's another season coming. I literally have on a Grey's Anatomy t-shirt because I was excited about
That show was on before I was in high school.
This is the 400th episode. It's a 2-parter finale.
And let me guess, doctors have a serious case going on while also dealing with sexual tension with other doctors.
No, I think somebody's gonna die tonight.
Oh,
so.
well, and someone's gonna die.
At a hospital.
Is it a hot corpse?
Because they were playing. First of all, I'm offended at the way you're speaking of my
Sorry.
favorite show right now.
Is this becoming a Grey's Anatomy podcast? Is that what's happening right now?
I listened to one actually. I love
I
it.
watched one episode.
You watched 2. He watched
Still
the
attacked.
season 6 2-parter finale.
Okay.
It's the one where there's a shooter in the hospital. So
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
it was intense. I was quoting the whole thing and crying like I haven't seen it 7,000 times. No, but they were playing Chasing Cars in the promo for it, and that usually is not a good sign.
Key to someone's gonna kick it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's been played too many times.
Is it one of my family members with cancer?
Oh my.
Oh, Lord.
On that note.
That got dark real quick.
If we don't laugh at it, it kills us.
Oh, we're a house of dark.
Oh,
humor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very dark humor.
I know, the one you did last time I was over here. Holy shit. Oh, God.
And if you can't laugh at your trauma, what's the point of
Yeah.
What's the point of
I
going
do
through
request that when you're out of water from Mount Jose, you just start going.
We will just get ignored.
it? No, I'm going to do the little thing where you got to whistle inside the...
say that though, but there's so many times where like he's about to get in bed and I'm like, can you go get my watch?
Like that.
I just hit him with.
But you're pregnant. You're allowed to do that.
Oh, I did that prior to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're up.
Now she just has somebody to blame.
Oh, dude, that's Clark's favorite bullshit on the planet. Is if he's like drinking. That I will. I hope he watches this. So I give him shit about it too, because he's such a dick. Where he'll sit there and he'll be drinking, and it'll be empty. It's in a can, but you know it's empty. He's just like. The second someone stands up, hey, while you're up. I'm like, you fuck.
He waits it out.
Yeah, he will literally sit there and knowingly his beer will be empty, and then the second someone stands up, he slides out of a koozie. He's like, hey, while you're up. Like, you shit ass. You're such a dick.
Work smarter, not harder.
This is
That's
true.
Are you staying in here? Are you coming with me? I know.
Okay, so how did you do during the fight, seeing me live?
Honestly, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't ever want the worst for anybody, especially like your best friend.
Yeah.
And then you're getting kicked, punched, and like kneed.
You're getting literally
And I'm just
fighting.
like, what the fuck? But this time I was basically like coaching from the, like where we were at.
Yeah.
Put your hands up! Come on, what? And I was just, and I didn't realize that at all. Like I thought I was just watching it and like reacting, whatever, until I watched the videos that Ashley shot. And you're watching the fight, and all you hear is just my barking, like over her shoulder. So she's getting the whole thing, and I'm just like, "Come on, baby, put your hands." Oh man, he grabbed his ankle. Oh dang! Like,
What the fuck?
like whenever you went to go grab your shin,
Oh, when I checked my kick.
I fucking just threw my hand because it was your
Right,
that
it was the
foot.
right leg.
It was the right leg.
It was right leg.
And
It was the left one, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, other than that, I did well. I mean,
Yeah, did inebriation help?
no, I mean, I only had one drink. Yeah. My anxiety.
I didn't say anything.
My anxiety was a lot better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Because it was interesting seeing like a lot of the people who had never seen me fight before live. Because the only person that was there this time that had seen me fight live last time was, well, Landon, Derek, and then Jacob. Jacob and his brother and his wife and then Gustavo and all of them were there when I broke my leg. So I remember I'm literally getting put into the fucking ambulance the first time. And the doors open. I see Jacob and Abby and Gustavo. Well, Gustavo's hilarious. So there's Jacob, Abby, and like Isaiah over there, and they're like, "We love you," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm fucked up on drugs, and I love you too," because they had already given me painkillers, and I was in a good spot.
Nice.
But they shut the doors, and they're sitting there just writing notes. All of a sudden, the door flies open, and Gustavo just gets in. He's like, "How you doing, buddy?" I was like, "Are you allowed to do this?" And the guys driving the ambulance were like, "He's all right." I was like, "I don't know if this is according to protocols, but I guess
Like, we're just letting random people in here? Like, what are we doing?
We could. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't too bad.
And I think watching everything prior to that
Yeah.
kind of just like lowered my
Well, plus outside of the check kick, I never got hurt. He never really landed. I mean, other than some leg kicks, he never really landed any major shots on me. He hit me with a decent hook at the very first round, but I grabbed him and I recovered quick, so it wasn't too bad.
yeah.
But yeah, the thing is too is like you talking about coaching from the sidelines and stuff is I couldn't that venue. So this was at XKO Extreme Knockout at Texas Live. Texas Live has an indoor-outdoor section called the Backyard, where it's like where they hold their concerts and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just got a covering. It's badass. Like even though it was,
It's a sweet spot.
even though it was May in Texas, it wasn't crazy hot in the ring. So that a lot of people thought it was gonna be burning hot. It's not. I'm glad I fought when the sun went down, but still. But I couldn't hear a damn thing from anybody. Like my coach was yelling multiple times because I went back and watched the video, and my coach was telling me after the fight, he was like, "You had him hurt in a couple spots," and I was like. I wasn't sure because he held his composure really well, and he was like, we were yelling. I was like, dude, I couldn't hear you. The only time I ever heard anything was when I was circled back and his corner was to my left, and he was standing in the center, and I was kind of against the cage a little bit. I had heard his corner go, all right, Jason, 1-2 right down the middle. And I was like, nope. And I scooted over to the right. I was like, no, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you knew. I think I
skipping that.
I think I even literally said that where I was like, no.
I could imagine in the middle, and just in the middle fight, just hey. No.
We started talking in the third round to each other. Because in the third round,
notice that.
I got super comfortable, and I was sticking my tongue out and shit too. And that's not like a disrespectful thing. That's just like when I'm into it, I'm just like it's a thing I've always done, but it's also especially when I'm fighting, like it's more. It's not to be disrespectful. It's more like a sign of admiration. Where I'm like, fuck yeah, this is a good fight. Like this is fun.
Yeah, you're hyped.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
Because there's this great moment right before the third round starts where, bro, and I'm so glad I didn't do it. I almost did a haka going into the third round. You know, the Samoan shit. Where you see me where I go, and I'm about to fucking do it. And then in my head, I'm like, is this cultural appropriation? And I stop and instead I just bow because I was about to start slapping my legs and just hit the gut. You know, just going full clip.
You were just going to start making noises.
Yeah.
Lena's like, he's not even saying anything. Like he's just making up shit at this point.
But yeah, so it was fun. I won. What was great is obviously my first pro fight was May of 2021. I break my leg, so I immediately go to the hospital. So the only people I'm with are my parents and then Derek and Landon. They came into the room. They weren't allowed to, but they did. And then the next one was in Texas City, so I'm in fucking enemy territory because the dude's from Houston. So the only people that are there are Landon, my coach Rob, and then my brother and my dad. And that's all I have there. So I just immediately get out of the ring and I just go, where's my dad at? And someone just goes, he's over there. And I go over there and I hug Tommy. And,
you were getting yelled at from the ring.
I was getting yelled at from the ring. They're like, because I went out into the crowd and they're like, you gotta go talk to the doctor first and get cleared. You get disqualified for this. I was like, I'm sorry, please don't disqualify me. And I ran back. But this one, it was different. Dude, there's something that, and I have a great picture of you and I, because I don't know, it's not even something I do frequently or like ever. I think I only do it in like really emotional moments or like big moments where I'm just grabbing people by the back of their head and their neck. And I've got a great photo of me like holding you by the back of the neck. I think it was the first second I saw you whenever I got out of there. But yeah, it was so being where you have your people there and people I hadn't seen since high school and shit.
Dude, the whole freaking reunion, basically.
I mean, Ian Simon, Aaron Lawyer, Dub, Jacob was there, Landon, me, you. Fuck, I mean, Lord knows how many other people that I saw a couple other people from high school. Some people I didn't even like. And I was like, you're like, you did so good. I'm like, thanks. You were a bitch to me in high school. Fuck you. You don't get to kiss my ass and be thirsty for me now. No.
Yeah.
You were kind of rude. But no, that just getting to be with all of y'all afterwards. One, I was fucked up within 30 minutes. Because
oh yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, this is gonna be on the internet, so I was inebriated in multiple ways. We'll just say that. Okay. And immediately when I got backstage, I was just like, oh. And then I come out and everybody's just handing me drinks. And I think like I walked around and literally like 40 minutes after I'm trying to find everybody, say hi to everybody, is I come back to where my parents were at. My dad goes, are you good? And I was like, I'm really fucked up, man. I'm not going to lie. Mom goes, how are you getting home? And I was like, I think Landon's over. I look over, Landon's doing a shot. And I was like, oh, shit.
Y'all are screwed.
Well, I figured it out, so it was all good. But yeah, just that of getting to be with all of y'all immediately afterwards was great. I mean,
well, before that, there was this really cool moment where you get out of the ring. Your dad runs down there, you give him a hug.
Okay, so let's clarify that, because that was you see in the video. Because I know I was like, I gotta hug Tommy. I don't know why. It's just a thing now. So you see me like
right before you even go over there, when you're standing right in front of the gate, people started running down. Yeah, and it was just random people.
We'll get to that too, because I'll bring that up because you're right. So I win. They announce me. I go and I pose with my team, and you literally see me stand up. I see the camera pointing at me. I bow to the camera just because I'm a fucking weirdo. And then you see me immediately turn around the stream, and I just point in the crowd at Tommy, and I get out of the cage, and there's this ledge, like a 4.5, 5 foot tall, like concrete ledge right here, and then there's some railing, and then there's seats, right? So there's these plastic chairs next to the ledge, and I said, fuck it, and I go up. I was like, I won't run out into there, but I'll stay within the bounds. So I get up on the chair, I hug Tommy, Aaron comes over, I hug Aaron, and then I think like 2 guys I know, and then hugging some random fat bitches that I don't fucking know, and then there's like these random dudes I'm like, I don't know, and I see like Ian Simon and other people waiting over there, and I was like, I'm hugging random people I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm about to, as I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back, and then a guy is just sitting there, and he goes, huh, and I was like, what is that? And he goes, it's a drink, and I was like, you bet, and I fucking pound it just immediately right there. I thought it was beer, it was tequila. So as
Good
I'm
way
walking,
to start recovery immediately after a fight.
and the Texas MMA Roundup, I love those guys. They got this great picture of me just chugging the drink while the crowd's like, fuck yeah! Thank God someone didn't hand me a shoey, because I probably would have done it in that moment. I'm not going to lie. And I was kind of just like, I was so close to handing me beer, I was like, let me see your shoe. If it was you, I would have taken your shoe and done it. But I was like, I'm not doing it in my shoes because I'm not walking around with a soggy shoe all night. But yeah, no, that was a great moment. But I was like, I literally was like, I gotta go. I'll come back around. I'll find everybody. I'll hug everybody. I go, because I hugged like 8 people, 4 of which I didn't know.
Yep.
So I turn around and there's the doctor there who was the same doctor that was there when I broke my leg. And he goes, how you feeling? And same thing. I don't know why. I don't know this man. I just put my hands around his neck and I was like, I feel fucking great. My shin hurts like a motherfucker. But other than that, I'm good, brother. And he's just laughing at me. He's like, good to know. I was like, aren't you glad I didn't break my leg again? He goes, yes. He goes, I'm very glad you didn't break your leg again.
Oh, shit.
And then we walk off and there's this great moment where we go and we interview. I do my first interview with Jason just because I respect the dude. Because normally they just do winter and then so on and so forth. Then I go over to Ocho TV. I interview with Joe because he's the shit. I love that guy. And we interview, we talk, we bullshit. And then one of the commentators comes up to me and he was like, hey, I was here when you broke your leg. I was commentating. I was like, oh shit. He goes, yeah, the way you were throwing it, you were throwing that kick to the body, like, didn't seem like you were afraid to throw it at all. I was like, you know, the amount of people that approach me after I broke my leg and they're like, are you worried you're going to have like PTSD in a fight of throwing that leg? I'm like, why? If it gets broken again, it's going to get fixed. I'm not getting my leg amputated, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't, like, same thing with, because I broke my leg, I lost that fight. It's like, okay. So the things that will fuck people over is 1, having a loss, and 2, having an injury. And for whatever reason, it didn't mess with me in the least bit. I don't know why in between these last 2 fights, it has not fazed me in the least bit. But he was talking to me, I was like, yeah, dude, I fought in January. He goes, you fought in January? I was like, yeah. He goes, how long did they say the recovery time was going to be? I was like, they said 8 months and I'd probably fight within a year, and I did in 7 months. And he goes, how the fuck? And I was like, I'm not going to get humiliated like that, slip and break my leg. The dumbest fucking, it wasn't even his shot that did it to me. It was me slipping. That's the dumbest shit. Like, and people didn't see the bone sticking out of the leg or anything. It was inside, so people couldn't tell, kind of. They kind of showed a replay that people could kind of tell. But it's like, so people are just going to think I'm a pussy. So it's like, okay, well, I'm coming back. I'm going to come back sooner than everybody expected. I'm going to fucking win. And then I'm going to write out a bunch of fights where on July 30th, that'll be my 3rd fight this year. But yeah, so I do that interview, and then we start walking over, and the hematoma on my shin from getting checked is just swelling the hell up, and I'm struggling a little bit. And so I just
because you were limping around quite a bit.
So I and here's how I set up is for at Texas Live, because every other area they walk you through like a hallway and then to the cage, right? This, you walk outside all the way around, because we were in that bar section. You walk outside of that bar all the way around to the performance center, and you're just kind of outside the entire time. So when we're heading back, I put my arm on Rob and Landon, and I was like, I need y'all. And they're like, all right. And so we're limping back, and I'm just being emotional and gushing, like, I'm just thankful for y'all and all that shit. And Cruz, I'm thankful for you, brother. Landon, I'm thankful for you. Rob, I'm thankful for you. Yada, yada, yada. And they're like, no, you did good, man. And then there comes a lull in the conversation, and I just go, God, I hope that guy's drink that I drank doesn't have herpes. You know, like, because I just chugged that thing. I didn't think about that in the least bit. But yeah.
So you would assume that after a world pandemic, you wouldn't want to drink somebody's.
I drank it. It was like down to here too. I was halfway drunk, and I had already finished.
And it was straight liquor.
No idea who that was, dude. If you're watching, thanks, bro. That put me on a good pace for the rest of the night.
It made an awesome moment, and it made an awesome photo. So that's I'll say.
Which I don't think they had a professional photographer there for like everybody, because I know some people had their own photographer there, and I was like, that's a good way to get Jose in backstage. I don't know if you can handle that though.
I don't know. Work mode is a whole different thing.
It's work mode, but it's me, and you would only be out there for me. Because I'm pretty sure I can get you in anywhere to do it. But that's the thing is you got to realize
dope.
while you're taking pictures, it's.
I'll see if I'm open July 30th.
You're not. I mean, going forward.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
forward.
think that would be dope.
But I don't know. We'll figure it out. If not, you've got connections. But yeah, I wish we had that photo, and then I wish we had a better one of me and him like bowing to each other and hugging each other at the very end. But who knows? Maybe they'll drop them. But I don't think they had a photographer there for that. But yeah, man, it was rad as fuck. And then literally 48 hours later, they're like, "Hey, do you want to fight this guy?" I'm like, "Can I have 72 hours to chill the hell out?" And within 72 hours, I had my next fight booked. I think we just got sent the contract. I just got to sign it. And it's against this dude that, I mean, once again, it's another guy that's way more experienced than I am, but it's intriguing that he took the fight. We've been talking a little bit on Facebook, just bullshitting and stuff, because I don't believe, which I said this in my interviews too, I don't believe in that animosity shit. Like, if it's someone I legit had a problem with in life, then that's one thing. But I mean, these guys, I don't have really beef with anybody. Like, these guys that I'm going to be fighting too, it's like, most of the time we either know of each other or have never really met, or just maybe we've met in passing at a gym or something like that. But it's never anybody I have any problem with or any beef with or anything. So we've been talking. But yeah, they just, fucking Junior from Urban Style too. I love you, brother. Fucking bet on me going forward next time. You owe Rocky money. He bet on Jason because that's his boy too. They've known each other a long time.
Okay.
And Rocky bet on me. Rocky comes up to me after fight. He was like, "Junior owes me money," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, he does." I looked at him when I went and saw him at the shop. I was like, "Don't ever bet against me again." And I was like, "You should know better by now." But literally, like, Rafael, who's the matchmaker for XKO, he's posting up, "Hey, I need these fights." And then Junior jumps on, he was like, "Travis will take that fight at 85." And Rafael's like, "It's MMA." He goes, "He wants his first win in MMA." And I was like, "Bro, what are you doing? Can I have a second to relax?"
Can you slow down a bit?
And then Chad Hobbs, first off, badass fucking name. His last name's Box. Like, what the fuck? And you're a fighter? That's cool as shit. He's also a professional wrestler.
Okay.
We're gonna be once again, just like with Jason, we're gonna be friends after this, and I'll have you meet him too. He's a chill dude. He's a wild man, but he's a chill man. And then he pops up and he was like, "I'll take that fight with St. John and Muay Thai," and I was like, "Okay." And then they were like, "Oh, let's do 85." And I was like, "Look, I've never gotten that low." I was like, "I know for a fact I can do 90 safely," because that's my thing. I'm not gonna fuck up my kidneys or my liver, or do some real damage to my body when I'm not sure. I think I could make 85, given a, like, I would have to really do some body recomp for like 4 or 5 months to get to a weight and be where I would have to sacrifice some muscle to do it safely. So like when I go back to MMA, I'm gonna have to do that because 205 in MMA, it's like, I mean, I'm big, but I would be a little bit undersized at the most elite level of that. I mean, at the end of the day, I was taller than Jason, and he's a heavyweight, but I want to make sure I'm like, okay, this is where I physically should be, and I think that's at 85 when I go back to MMA. But once again, I would have to do a real body recomp on that, and then go to 85. But 90, I know I can do 90, because if I can go from 212 to 195 in 2 weeks and 5 days, like I did for my fight in January, which I cut more water than I would have liked to, then I can definitely do 90 with a full camp. Which, thank God I have another full camp. It's so nice having stuff planned. But yeah, Chad hopped on there. He was like, and then he DM'd me. He was like, "Hey, I'll take the fight at 90." And I was like, cool. Because that was my point. I was like, look, I'm going to be blunt. I have zero desire to turn down the fight or anything like that. But I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to just take a fight at 85 when I haven't done a test cut, when I'm not sure if my body can handle it, and if my kidneys or liver will get fucked up. I will not put my organs and my life in jeopardy making weight for a fight. Every time I step in the cage, I could die. So that's just, it is what it is. But when it comes to making weight for it, I'm not going to put my fucking life on the line. So he agreed to it at 90, and I was like, fucking cool. And then Rafael called. We had a few other offers. Two Texas Muay Thai wanted me back. But I was like, Bobby, if you're watching this, I love you, dude. And I'm going to come train with y'all for this fight camp. But XKO will pay me more. It's local. And I think this is just a better fight for me than what they offered me.
Yeah.
Which I've been, what's nice about what I've done, and I don't know if that's people wanting their fighters to get wins over me or their favorites to be in wins over me. I think every fight that I've booked so far, the promotion has wanted the other person to win. And that's nothing against them. It's just obviously like down there, that's the hometown guy. They wanted him to beat me. I was a last minute replacement. I don't think they called and heard I broke my leg in my first fight and I was 0-1. They didn't expect me to come in and do what I did. And then for this one, Jason's done multiple fights for XKO. They love that guy. I mean, he trains with the matchmaker and all this shit. And I'm like, they didn't expect or want me really to win this fight. Hopefully now I have your fucking attention. But this guy is also another local favorite. He's a guy who's fought for XKO a couple times. He's really good. He's 3-1 in professional MMA, 1-1 in professional Muay Thai, 0-1 in professional boxing, and 0-1 in professional kickboxing. And I'm like, okay, so it's a bit of a mix-up, but his stand-up's really good and shit. So I was like, this will be fun. It's what I was trying to say is like, a lot of fighters when they come out, if they're like someone's favorite or they're from a big gym or something like that, and the promotion wants to push them because they like that gym, they'll put them with what's called cans. And what I mean with a can is it's an analogy in boxing and fighting and shit that, you know, it comes from the old, like, oh, kicking a can down the road. It's like it's not any kind of a struggle to you. So they want people to fight cans to build up their records so that they can get them in bigger promotions. But every single fight I've had has been a test at the end of the day. It's been guys that have more experience than me that brought it to me each fight. And so, I mean, this last one, we went up in weight to fight at heavyweight against a guy who has been, I mean, shit, he's had over 20 fights. And so, yeah, I like that nothing's been easy for me so far because I don't ever want to be seen as a fighter that they're like, oh, he's just throwing them cans or anything like that. I'm fighting tough fucking dudes and having good, fun fights at the end of the day.
Yeah, the last two have been intense.
Yeah. Well, it's the first one, Mario, bro, Mexicans are tough. That's just it, plain and simple. I like, people can say what they want to say.
His leg took a lot.
Mexicans and Irish, when it comes to fighting, that's your two toughest bloodlines right there. It just is. And I mean, yeah, I mean, he also ate some hard elbows from me in the clinch in that fight in January too. And then the calf kicks. I mean, I dropped him 3 times with calf kicks. But Jason, I knew Jason was tough as shit, man. The dude's been gored by a bull. And he's walking around and fighting. Like, he's a bull rider. I literally said it. I was like, well, they asked me for Ocho TV in the pre-fight interview. They're like, how do you want it to go? I was like, well, I would love to walk out there and knock him out with one punch. That's how I want every fight to go. Is it probably going to happen? No. And that's not saying I have a lack of power or anything. It's just saying, like, I know when somebody's tough. And experienced good fighters, that's not going to happen. Like, you saw in the amateur card, and that's a lot of dudes getting finished, and that's because a lot of them, it's their first real fight ever sanctioned. And they go out there, and the nerves are just too much, and they just fucking rush, and they try to just knock everybody out in the first round, and they fight someone who's better than them, and they get fucked up. Or that person's also doing the same thing, and they get caught. I'm not going to do those reckless exchanges. If you even try to do that shit to me, I'm going to teep your ass and keep your ass back and be like, no, you're fighting my fight. But it's also, I'm not going to sit there and fight recklessly or stupid. Because a couple people commented to me right after the fight, is they said, oh, I think you respected him too much. I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, it just seemed like you weren't giving 100%. Okay, so let's break that down. One, I'm going to fight where I could fucking die. This isn't patty cake. This is, we're flinging our bones and shit at each other. We're flinging our fists at each other. Like, there's no going into a professional fight and be like, oh, I'm going to take it easy on him. That's not how, this isn't sparring. That's not how it is.
Yeah.
So, do I respect Jason? Absolutely. I respect the shit out of the guy. And he gave me a great fight and I had a blast. But at the same time, people in my coach was like, there were areas you could capitalize. 100%. That is correct. But here's 2 things that people don't think of. One, he held his composure very well. So when I think I had him hurt, I don't know, I'll have to ask him. When I think I had him hurt and he was up against the cage, I popped him a few more times, but he held his composure, so I couldn't really tell if he was hurt. He didn't physically wobble or anything like that, but going back and watching the fight, I was like, yeah, I could have poured it on a little bit more. But 2, he's a fucking heavyweight. I'm not going to chance diving in and throwing some wild punch trying to finish him and then eat a hook and get knocked out. So I'm never going to do something stupid like that. And like, people can say, oh, you respect him too much, you're holding back. No, I have a decently sized fight IQ, and I know I'm not going to sit there and put myself at risk if I'm not sure if I have him hurt. If I see him wobble and then yeah, I'm going to go for it. But if he holds his composure, he just backs up, gets a finish, and breathes it out, and he's an experienced dude. He held his composure very well. And guys, you'll see that when the more experience they get, when they take shots, they're just like, oh, I'm okay. You know, they kind of make it seem like, okay, maybe they focus in a little bit more, or maybe it's because my goal is, when you see me walk out to fight, it's very opposite of who I am in life, where this is me all the time. But when I go into fight, you see me always, I'm just here. And I'm always just here. I keep my eyelids halfway. As I'm walking up there, it's composure the entire time. I walk up, I look right at your clavicle, and I just focus there, and that's it. And I occasionally stick my tongue out. But other than that, I just clamp down on my mouthpiece, and I try to keep my face and everything the same as much as possible. So, because you don't want to show somebody you're hurt at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Guys will physically take a hit, and they're like, it's like, cool, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do it again and again and again because it's fucking you up. Mm-hmm. It's just like with my fight with Mario. The first leg kick I hit him with when his leg shot up in the air, and I was like, I think I've got this, and dropped him some more times.
That was insane.
Well, and Jason was eating some leg kicks, but you could see in the video. I wish he had taken a picture of it. I wanted to see it, but you see in like the third round, the inside of his thigh was just lipstick red, just beat to shit.
Dude, you had some push kicks that I thought you almost.
They were teeps. They weren't push kicks. A lot of people were confused by that. So a push kick is going flat or with the heel, trying to hit up on the sternum to knock somebody backward. Mm-hmm. A teep is so the way I like to compare it is a push kick is like taking a sledgehammer and going like that.
Okay.
A teep is like taking a spear and going like that. So I'm aiming with the ball of my foot, trying to aim like right here at your stomach. And then one time I teeped him in the face too. But I'm aiming for the stomach or the face with a teep to basically like, it's kind of like throwing a cross to the body or something like that. But it's a good way to keep distance and to hit decently hard. Man, it wasn't a push kick.
You got him really good.
And that's the thing is when people were like, oh, you respect him too much, you were holding back. I teeped him, and he's a fucking normally 254-pound dude, was probably well over 225, 228 for that fight. I teeped him, and he bounced back like 5 feet. That it's a funny moment because the way that camera cuts is it's facing him, so he's going back, and the ref runs behind him because he was circling that way, and then he hits, and the ref was like, oh shit, and he got around really quick. That ref was good.
Man, but if you would have landed that spinning elbow.
So fun fact. Because everybody keeps talking to me about this spinning elbow.
That would have been insane.
It wasn't a spinning elbow, or it wasn't supposed to be. So I threw my comment. I need to go back and rewatch it 3 times, but it's like I'm just rewatching it to see. And I'll explain in a second. But what I was throwing is I threw like maybe it was a jab and a cross, but I went to throw a spinning back fist. And when I looked over my shoulder, because when you throw a spinning back fist, you turn and you look over your shoulder to see where your opponent is. His head wasn't there, and I was like, uh-oh. And so I abandoned it, and I tucked my arm because I didn't want to fling and knock myself over his body. And I tucked my arm, and so it like hit him in that armpit, basically. Mm-hmm. But it looked like a spinning back elbow, but it was supposed to be a spinning back fist, but it's just I pulled it when I saw his head wasn't there. And I was like, well, shit.
And you missed it by like...
a few inches, yeah. And which, if that would have connected, awesome, but it wasn't the intent of the throw. Like, I love spinning shit.
See, but it looks so smooth when it happened. Like, I couldn't have... when you told me that,
yeah,
I never made the connection because I was like, bro, no, like, that legit looked like...
Yeah.
It was designed.
Well, and it's because if I'm going to abandon it, I am going to tuck and try to, like, hit with that. It's just so... Essentially, with my arm extended, I don't want to overthrow my body because I'll torque more. If I tuck it in and I land something, then... I won't torque as much and over-rotate myself because I didn't want to over-rotate, get put in a bad position. Because anytime you're going to spin, if they're not there, you can be put in a very bad position if someone hops out of the way and tries to throw a cross or something like that. So I was just trying to make sure I wasn't in a bad spot, and that I abandoned it. But yeah, I mean, obviously the main things were there was a lot of stuff that I didn't even really train for, but it's just with... A lot of people try to follow a game plan, and I always say it's like, you can have a game plan until you get fucking hit in the face. And then you're like, okay, I'm going back to instinct. Well, what's weird is I came out southpaw because I can fight both. Because I had seen in his previous fights that it was a subtle thing that nobody else had really said to me, but it's something that I noticed, and per this fight, I think it was pretty effective, is anytime he would fight somebody and they would switch to southpaw for a little bit, it looked like he struggled, like trying to figure out, okay... My normal thing is two straight shots down the line with a leg kick to the lead thigh, but if my lead thigh is over here, then that gives me more time to get out of the way of your kick, but also you're not going to be really... Your game plan's kind of out the window. And so I did that, but what the fuck was I talking about right before that?
Fuck, I have no clue.
Every time we get going on this shit. I was talking about game plans and fuck. But anyways, yeah.
We both had some long days, apparently.
You're telling me. But yeah, so I went into that, and I didn't mean to throw that, and then fought him Southpaw coming out, and that was what I was talking about, is when it comes down to gameplay, is my game plan, we pretty much followed it, which was get the fuck out of the way, which, that's another thing that I think is cool, is I made a reference in one of my interviews, because I knew he was a bull rider and all this stuff, where I was like, well, if you think about it, me going up in weight and him coming down a little bit to where we're doing a catch weight, so it's technically not heavyweight, it's a catch weight of 220. He came in at 218, I came in at 207, I didn't cut any weight. He probably was well over 225 when he got back in there. And I told the interviewers, I was like, I think, he's a big, tough dude. He hits hard. He comes forward. I was like, I think this is going to be a lot like the bull versus the matador. And they go, so which one's which? And I was like, you'll see on the fight night. And then they posted a promo of us, and they said it's the bull versus the matador. So because of how I was defensively this time, and I always felt like you had to earn a moniker, not be just, I would never name myself. I have accepted the moniker of the Matador. So that'll be my fight name going forward. The Irish Matador.
They have to announce it just like that.
Not the Irish Matador, but the Matador. That'll be my nickname going forward. Because the game plan went the same. At the end of the day was, okay, he's big, he's going to be heavy-handed, his shots are going to hurt. His kicks didn't hurt as bad as I thought. When I ate the first one, I was like, well, he's a big motherfucker. And then I ate the first one, and this is the first thought that goes in my head. I get hit with one, and I go, Landon kicks harder. Landon KO kicks harder than any human being I've ever met in my life.
Yes.
And the dude is not a fucking heavyweight. If he cut the weight and actually fought, he would fight at 55. Most likely. Or 70. I would make him get to 55. So I ate the kick, and I was like, okay. So basically the game plan was, I know he lifts on this lead hook with his lead hand, keep the right hand really high up so I can catch if I need to, which I did a lot. I only got hit with one or two of his hooks. But it was basically just in, out, in, out, in, out, circle out towards his lead side, yada, 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 and then teep, leg kicks, keep him at a distance, long punches, don't sit there and try to engage him. That being said, that when the few times we clinched, I was winning the clinch every single time, which I have been working on it a lot, but I was like, I didn't expect with someone who's not so much taller than me, but physically speaking bigger than me, I didn't expect that I would be winning the clinch.
Because honestly, when he weighed in at 218,
yeah,
you
were there.
I didn't think I thought he was heavier than that.
So, I don't know why. I'll ask him when we have dinner this weekend. He normally fights 254, heavyweight. And whenever he accepted the fight with me, he just reached out to me, and I think I believe he did it as a way to better himself physically. Where he was like, hey, what weight do you want to fight? I was like, I agreed to it at heavyweight. He was like, how about 225? And I was like, that's fine. I already agreed to it, so it doesn't matter to me. And then when we got the contract, then they said it was for 220. And I was like, once again, I'm going to be under. That's cool. I didn't let anyone really know I was going to be under or how much I was going to be under. I expected to walk in there at 210, but the training Rob was having me do, I was like, I could not keep weight on. I was going home after training and eating dog shit and everything I could. I was eating a ton at night, and I was still, losing weight from the training we were doing. But that being said, I had me in great shape. I didn't have any issues cardio-wise or anything.
No,
like that.
you look great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to ask him, why he felt like that. But I would assume that he wants to, cut weight, because originally it was going to be his retirement fight, and that's when we hugged at the beginning of the third round. He told me, he was like, this is my last one. I was just like, thank you so much for having me, and I'm glad I got to fight you, and I got to be the one you went out on. And then afterwards, turns out he felt good, and his coaches were like, he fought well. It's just, he was him. And I think he's going to try to fight at 205 going forward. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I hope he actually cuts some fights again.
That's cool.
He's still good. I mean, despite he's 43, but dude, getting in there with him, he didn't fucking seem like he was 43. I was like, shit, man.
He was throwing some.
Yeah. He was very good. But yeah, we followed the game plan to a T. Picked my shots. Really didn't want to get too in tight with him, because one of the things I noticed when I watched his previous fights is he has a hell of a knee to the body. And he has it perfectly placed right to people's liver, and it was just really good. But also, he was only doing that to orthodox people. Since I was southpaw, it changed the dynamic, because he would normally do it with his back knee, but from this angle, he really kind of couldn't. But I still don't want a chance getting hit by the shit. Because when I felt the punches, I was like, I can take these. When I felt the kicks, I was like, I can take these. I was like, I'm not going to chance the knee. So I didn't engage with him when I had him backed up against the fence other than at a distance. Because I didn't want to just run in there and get fucking knocked out or some shit like that, or eat a knee and get dropped or something. But yeah, 30-27, we won every single round, so this year I have not lost a round yet, which I take more pride in than winning both of my fights at the end of the day. Do I wish I could have finished them? Absolutely. Would it have been hard? Absolutely. I tried. I threw one head kick, and he blocked it, and I was like, fuck. Yeah. I'm going back to what's working. And I was like begging Rob in the corner the first round in. I was like, can I kick him in the head? He goes, no. I was like, fuck, fine. And then we get to about the third round, about to hit. And bro, what's funny is like knowing the few things I remember, because you never really remember the fight. It's not a concussive thing. It's just it's so quick and it's so
and I'm
fast.
Sure your adrenaline is just out of the roof.
But I do remember like the funny moments where I like go back at the end of the first round. I looked around and went, that hook hurt. He's just laughing at me. He's like, don't get hit by it again. I was like, yes, sir. But then the third round's about to go, and the second round I get my kick checked. That shit fucking sucked. My leg went numb from the knee down.
Dude.
If he had rushed me, I would have been in trouble.
That moment, you could hear just silence.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout. You can just hear a gasp.
And it sounds like a baseball bat. 2 baseball bats hitting against each other.
Yes.
That's the one thing that everybody kept telling me. They're like, dude, it sounded like people hitting fucking home runs in there. I'm like, we kick hard. We don't kick, we're big boys and we kick hard. And I kick hard for my size, too. But I get the kick checked and it bounces off, and I was like, fuck. And I'm sure I made a face in that moment because there's no disguising that because my leg's numb, and I was going to put it down. I was like, please don't be broken. And I hit it, and I was like, oh, thank God. But I was like, I need to back up, and I scooted back twice, and luckily he didn't bum rush me at that time, but I would have recovered and gotten out of the way anyways. But I go back in after that round, and Rob goes, okay, let me get some ice on my leg. I was like, do not do that. And he goes, why? I was like, I was already visibly expressive of how bad it hurt. Don't make him think it's worse than it is. And he goes, okay. And then I look at him, I was like, can I kick him in the head? He goes, yes. I was like, thank you.
Can I have one more, please?
I just remember we're sitting there, we're just joking and bullshitting because it's, for whatever reason in Texas, they give you 2-minute rounds for Muay Thai. It's like we fight 3-minute rounds. MMA guys fight 5 and they only get 1 minute. I don't understand it. I'm also not bitching about it because it's nice. But at the same time, we're just sitting there, and after like 30 seconds, we're like, so what you want to do after this? Like, we're just bullshit. We're literally just bullshit. Because, like, he gave me my critiques, and he was like, okay, let's chill out. How you feeling? I was like, fine. How you breathing? I'm good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because your cardio looked insanely good.
Yeah. And that's how we're going to do it going forward all the time, is just the training to do it sucked, where I was at V probably 2.5, 3 hours every single night, but I mean, it paid off. I wasn't tired at all. I wish we had 2 more rounds. I would have loved to have
you look great.
But yeah, man, it was fun. It was thrilling. And then the next one's July 30th, quick turnaround. That'll want to be in 190 at the Statler Hotel in Dallas, which I like that venue. I like Texas Live the best out of all the venues they do. I will not fucking fight at Billy Bob's. It's a shitty venue. I don't like it.
I didn't even know they had fights there.
It's not good. It's just not a good setup for it. It's a lot more people standing. Like, there's not chairs for people to sit down, really, like at the Statler and at XKO. And it's not.
Yeah, I really like the setup at the backyard.
It's cool. It's just cool. It's cool where you have the multiple levels and all that stuff, and then they got plenty of room where you can sit if you want to.
I ran into a wrestler.
Yeah, you ran into Zach Archer, right?
Lance Archer.
Archer, yeah. He commentated the fight before me.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. And because I was watching it, I was like, oh shit, he's commentating that. I guess for the pro fights, they just added another commentator, which after this fight, I'm going to talk to XK and be like, hey, if I'm not fighting on the card, call me. So that guy's not by himself, like, call me. Pay me like $100 a show. I would love to come out here and commentate because I can do it, and I know I can.
I would bullshit through it.
Well, I don't need to bullshit through because Lane and I have done it. Like, we've literally done it on live streams watching the UFC and stuff like that, and it's like, I have the fight IQ and stuff that I can break down what's happening in front of you, too. So I'm going to talk to them about it and see if they'll let me do it. I don't know if they'll let me do it when I'm actively fighting for them, but we'll see. But yeah, so it'll be July 30th, Statler in Dallas against Chad Box, 190, which they're calling it catchweight. It's cruiserweight. In Muay Thai and in boxing, it's cruiserweight. Fucking, we don't have to go by MMA weight classes all the time. But yeah, it'll be fun. He and I are talking. We're going to try to do a podcast together with someone officiating it where I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, look, if you, because you know how I am. Unless someone talks shit to me, I won't talk shit back. But if you do, we can play. And we can have some fun. And then I had my charity shit I dealt with. I don't want to fucking go over that again. People seen enough on the social media. And then I already found a case that I want to be charitable for this one too, which I'm going to do. Outside of obviously my DFW artists, I'll have in my fight banner every single time. I want to try to find like something charity wise I can do, because like it's more than me. If I had the platform, why not do something good?
Yeah.
You know, it's like this one kind of didn't fall into place like I wanted to, where I wanted to tell him specifically rather than do that, but I didn't know when I would see him, and I didn't want to wait until the fight to let him know. Because I don't want to like fuck with anybody backstage, or I don't know if I was going to see him after the fight, so I just set it on Texas MMA Roundup and Ocho TV and shit. But I've got the next one already planned that it's a good one.
Right,
I'm happy.
So so it's July 30th. Do you have info for tickets and all that stuff, or are you going to release it on your social media?
It hasn't dropped yet. This one I would like to, because the donation I'm going to be making will be entirely off of my commission from ticket sales. So I'm going to try to sell a lot of tickets this time, which I sold 20 this past time. Mm-hmm. Just from my hands, a lot more people were there than that. I had people buying tables and shit. But I'm going to try to actively just sell tickets this time, because all of that money will go to this person. And then, yeah, it'll be a cool one. It'll be interesting fighting it inside again. I want to fight at Booker T's gym again, honestly. Dude, that was a fun venue.
I wanted to go there so bad.
Next time. Because I'll definitely fight for them again.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're my official photographer, it's work.
Oh, it is work. Work related. I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Also, so you and I can just hang out fucking
take pictures everywhere. Try to find his belts and stuff.
Dude, if about then I wanted to go to the beach the next day, but my legs were so fucked that next morning that I was just like shuffle stepping the entire time that I woke up at like 5 a.m. My legs were throbbing. I put my feet on the side of the bed. This was January. I put my feet on the side of the bed and I leaned on them and I went, uh-oh. I immediately texted Robin. I was like, I don't think we're going to Galveston today, bud. I think we're going to go home. And I took something that helped me with it, and then we drove home. But yeah, so that will be then. And another thing I wanted to talk about, sorry, because, you know, I know your schedule's crazy, but it was something I wanted to talk to you about, and because we've agreed to like air our emotional shit on here, it's something I've been thinking about recently. I left Peya 2 years ago, right? I just said her name, didn't I?
Oh, you just said her name.
Oh well. Fuck it. Who cares? She's in
continuity here.
She's in a different country now.
No, we're not getting into that.
I think it fucked me up worse than I thought, and where in the past 2 years at separate times I've tried dating, and I don't know. I got in this state this last since the fight where I've been thinking, I was like, damn, like if I hadn't let that bitch control me and treat me the way she did, where would I be in my life right now, right? Because I am one where I'm like, okay, everything happens I truly believe, and this isn't a religious thing, everything happens for a reason. Like, dealing with that shit made me the person I am today.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a drastically better person than I was 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, whatever it was. But at the same time, it's like, yes, I think that was great emotional and mental growth for me to experience and deal with that shit. Well, to an extent. But one thing I do hate is that I wanted to get back into fighting like a year and a half into dating her, and she told me no, that she would leave me if I started fighting again, all this shit, which, once again, that's my weakness. I allowed that manipulation to stop me from doing what I wanted to. But I don't know. I got in my head recently about, like, one, where the fuck would I be fighting wise? Would I already be fighting overseas? Would I already be at an extremely elite level? Where would I fucking be if I had done this every single time I said I wanted to get back into it? Because for those who don't know, I started training at 19 to 21, and then I've trained on and off all that time since then, but then focused this entire past 2 years on fighting. So there's that, which has fucked me up, which, you know, it's an if situation, so there's no point in really dreading on it, but it has been on my mind lately.
But do you think you would have been the fighter that you are today then?
Yeah. Yes and no. Once again, it goes back to everything that happens right where I'm in a good camp, where I'm happy where I'm developing well, yada yada yada. And like once again, the leg break led to that, to where I became way better because I wasn't prepared for that first fight because we were training in random fucking LA Fitnesses. I didn't really have a structure. I really didn't have a real fight camp going on or any of that shit. It was a stress just to figure out where we were going to train that day, if I could meet with Landon or Derek, yada yada yada. And it was just, I'll never do that again. Having a place I can go to every single day, it just makes things easier. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, yeah, physically speaking, I could have been improving that entire time. I could have been getting better. Who knows if things would have laid out the way they would have, or what my record would be and all that stuff. But yeah, I think I would be drastically better than I am now if I had focused the 2 or 3 years before I left her, when I was wanting to start fighting again, to be training and fighting and stuff like that. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just something that's fucked me up about it. But it's also like, when it comes to dating and shit, it's weird where, while now more than ever I know like what I want and what I need in life and a partner and all that shit, it's just, I don't know, it's weird being my age and like feeling like I'm not fucking in my 30s or 40s or anything like that, but I don't know, it's just weird now, and it's to a point that I've like talked to a lot of girls that were nice, and I either self-sabotaged some shit, or just shit didn't work out, or I was really picky over certain things like about that person, and I don't know. Maybe it is just I'm always a big thinking things will fall into place, like I was just talking about, but it's
right. But what if all this is getting those pieces in place?
Well, yeah, it's I guess I don't want to say it's frustrating, where it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be like 30 and single, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want to have kids one day and be married and shit, and it's just, I don't know. It's just been something that's been bugging me, like that part, the fight thing has been bugging me for a while, but that part has been bugging me for like the past week, where I've just been thinking about it, and I'm like, God, it's just, you know, you can't, I don't know. I don't know what's really going through my head with it. It's just, I mean, like, this sounds weird to say, and I don't want people to confuse jealousy with envy. Like, I am envious of what you two have. Truly. Mm-hmm. I'm envious. Like, when I jokingly said at the beginning of this, I love y'all's love, I do. Like, y'all make me fucking cry like a bitch all the time because y'all are so damn cute together and everything.
I don't even like her like that. I really need my green card. No,
hey, I offered. But anyways.
Nah, man. But the thing is, this had fallen. Like, I make the joke all the time that, like, she made me chase for a year and a half.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when we first met, we were two separate people.
Yeah.
If we would have gotten together, we probably wouldn't be together today.
Yeah.
So I always think about it as, yes, we met a year and a half prior to us getting together, but we weren't the same. She wasn't the right person for me, and I wasn't the right person for her at that time. So shit had to happen, and how much shit had to happen that between that, for the both of us, it's what brought us together. Yeah. So it's one of those things where we're, and I make this reference a lot, is like a relationship's like a fart. If you force it, it's gonna be shit. Like, you've never heard that?
No, I've fucking heard that because it's such a you thing.
It's true, man. You can't force shit.
Yeah, and I agree, and it's I'm not trying to force anything, and I don't want to force anything, and I guess it's just kind of like, how do I put this? It's
Dog,
like,
I've been there. Look how long I was single before me and Ashley got married.
But it's like I have y'all, and then I have Clark and Holly who are about to get married. Oh, fun fact, I'm marrying them too.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've announced that here. I'm marrying them. I love their relationship and who they are together. I have Jacob and Abby that I fucking envious. I love their relationship so much. And then Landon has his girl, Derek has his girl, and I'm like, Emily and Aaron are fucking happily now married. Like, the Maddies are together and have been talking about that stuff, and I'm like, I'm the single friend. I'm Joey. And I don't like that I'm Joey. In more ways than one. I don't like that I'm Joey from Friends.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think I'm just, it's a mixture of like, I love being around all of y'all, but at the same time, I'm envious of all of y'all and what y'all have. And yeah, I don't know. Just dating in this day and age is difficult.
Very complicated.
Especially for someone who literally just goes to work, goes to the gym, and goes home with Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm sad about it or anything, or like.
No, it just sounds like you're impatient.
Yeah.
You're just losing a little bit of that patience.
That's that fun ADD brain I have.
But dude, I have no doubt that those pieces will fall.
Yeah.
At all.
God,
I just know it's like around the corner.
Yeah.
But you got to go through speed bumps before you get to the road. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah. And it's been fucking with me, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, well, there's certain people I've talked to that I'm like, I get out of it because of like this, which I think that's the other thing with dating now too, is that I've taken a drastically different approach where I hate saying this, but when I was younger, it was like, oh, we've been talking for a month, cool, I like you a lot, sex is great, awesome, cool, we're in a relationship now. Now it's like I will talk to someone for months.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like,
bro, for me, there was a questionnaire. There was a first interview with the homies. There was a second interview with the homies.
I know, I've got the stamps. I've got the stamps, I know. But that's different. You did it to make sure that person was authentic. Y'all do that for my safety.
that we started implementing. Yeah, that was us.
I'll tell that full story eventually.
That's the committee.
Her ass is back in Bulgaria now, so I don't know. I'll tell that whole story eventually, but it's I don't want to say it's like I'm sad about anything. I think it's just I'm a lovey guy, and I love all of y'all, and I love y'all's love for each other, and I get envious of that at times, and
I'm sure it doesn't help that like it's the majority of your friends.
It's all.
Yeah.
All. Not majority. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all.
I was including Rebecca in with hers.
Plus, dude, when I get in fight camp, I get horny as fuck, and I'm just like, I'm on that Tyson Fury where I'm like 7 times a day jerking off, man. Like, I've got to be like at one point, and I'm like, damn, this would be easier if I had someone in my life. I'm guessing you didn't expect me to take that turn with it, but I'm glad that.
So thank you for watching this. This will be our final. What is that?
Yeah.
We're getting canceled. This is the series finale. Thank you for watching.
It's not gonna be canceled for me talking about jerking off. Come on now. Have you seen that Tyson Fury interview? It's hilarious.
Yes.
What kind of training? I do crazy. Why did it go Connor? He was, I do crazy training. I masturbate 7 times a day. Gotta keep you on your toes. Oh my god, I love that dude. But yeah, so that's all of our life updates. You don't have anything? You got a promotion?
Or yeah, I put in.
It was a promotion and
a transfer of department. So
rather than just going like that, you went like this.
Yeah. So I just moved departments. I went from AP, asset protection to.
Ooh, can we tell stories now?
I think so.
Ooh,
I think so. I don't know. I might have to.
Let's look into that first because I can't wait.
Let me talk to legal.
I can't.
Yeah, let me talk to legal.
I cannot wait to do an episode entirely over you and the crazy shit you saw catching people stealing and shit.
Oh, dude, it's nuts.
I can't wait.
It's nuts.
Find out.
The reason that I got out of there was because I used to get cussed out by crackheads. And
I'm gonna text you tomorrow to ask your boss if you can talk about it.
I got swung at and I got a knife pulled on me and I said I'm out. So I moved departments. It's just it's a supervisor role.
You have people who had COVID in front of you.
I have 90.
Times.
I have 93 associates under our department.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
And now you're back to managing people and dealing with stupid people. Yeah. Welcome back.
Well, the thing is, I like managing, man. So like that is completely cool. What I was not expecting, and I thought I did a lot of working for AP. For this role,
you're booking it.
Dude, I'm like
20, get your steps in.
25,000 steps in like an 8-9 hour shift.
Fuck.
Doing like 10, 12 miles just in the same little room.
Hell yeah. Boy's gonna be
ripped. And then, I might be challenging somebody. No, I'm playing. I'm gonna get knocked out.
Come on, bro. That was fun.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's I've just been working back. We're doing concerts again, so I've been
you're
booking it on the weekends.
Nuts right now.
Yeah. So it's like 9 o'clock. I got to be up by 3, and then going to work, and then going to the 11 right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fun time, man. Back to concert easing, listen to some good music,
and then Jude's almost here.
Jude's around the corner.
Just like,
just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Like, right there. Yeah.
You're gonna be the best dad.
I look forward to it, man.
You're gonna
It's
be the
terrifying.
best dad. Of course.
But
it's a life.
Yeah.
It's not a dog. You're like, oh, Luna needs a shit, let me let her outside. This, you're like, oh, I have to wipe and then diaper it and then make sure it's living and it's not gonna eat on its own. I have to make it eat and oh god.
Yeah, and just the fact that I have to like teach this little human
to
how
be
to
a
a person.
Yeah.
And have his own personality and like his sense of humor and have perception of good and evil, and it's mind-boggling that it's Ashley and I doing that.
Us.
I said Ashley and I. Yeah. Oh.
Us.
Yeah. The trouble. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So
those
it's
are never gonna stop being funny.
I make those jokes. She's like, hey, he can move in. He can stay on the couch. She's not a big fan. Not a big fan,
because I think Jude is either going to be a hellion or he's going to be just the most. And I'm leaning toward he's going to be the most chill baby ever, and he's never going to cry or anything. But if he does, I'll give it 2 or 3 weeks until I get a phone call. And I'm like, I'm coming.
Bro, we got an RV. You're staying in the house. We're staying in the RV. Jude's still in his room. Don't forget to let him out.
I'll be your au pair. Yeah. But yeah, this was Taboo Talk. We're glad to do this again. We keep always saying that we're going to try to do it more frequently, and we will try to do it more frequently, but we have schedules. So when I get in fight camp and he's got Levitt Pavilion, it's difficult, but I do love doing these, and I love you. So. Yeah.
And then go check out my article.
Yes!
The link is on my bio on the Instagram.
Jose got featured.
Prom and era photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was with Star Telegram?
That was DFW something. DFW shout out or something.
Fuck yeah, that or DFW Lone Star or something
like that.
It was nice though. It was a good article.
Cool. Yeah.
I was very happy to see you in it.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, you made it.
I chose that picture.
It was a good shot
because it was me and my brother on the cover.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I had my tattoo shown.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that was on purpose.
Oh, and I got more tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out to Sanji.
Look at this thing.
And it's not done yet, but it's gonna.
Shout out to Urban Tattoos.
Shout out to Urban. Shout out to my dude Sanji. How do I? What is happening?
There you go. Yeah.
It's a Hanya mask. It's a Majora's Mask Hanya mask. So it's gonna be Majora's Mask colors.
Urban Tattoo. If you want to sponsor us,
shout out. What up, Junior? We gonna talk, bro.
I'm down for a free tattoo here and there for a shout out. Ashim Sabachi Grill.
Hell yeah, bro! When I saw them, he got me drunk.
Dude,
he was just like, "You drinking?" And I was like, "Are you drinking?" He goes, "I'm gonna get you booze."
We went one night and Devin comes around the corner and he usually brings me a bottle of sake. So this time I was like, "Hey, don't bring that." And then he brings me a whole thing of like two different plates of sushi just for free. And I'm just like, man, I freaking love it, dude.
So I took Maddie Smith because her and I were having a girls' night, and we went out and. I was like, have you ever been to Ashim Sabachi? Because they're living over in like Clear Fork now. And she's like, no. I was like, we're going. So we go and we eat, and he brought me a whole bottle of fucking, what was it? Oh, so good. Was it peach sake? Oh, God. Whichever one it was so good. I was like, if we don't finish this, I'm sneaking it out. And then he brought us like these other 2 drinks. I don't know what they were, but he had these really pretty flowers and shit in it. And I was like, thank you. You know me so well. And he was like, I got you. He was like, keep winning. And I was like, you bet, brother. I appreciate you. I love those guys so much.
Those guys are so up.
Yeah, so this was Taboo Talk. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. As always, come and see me fight. Congratulate Jose on his new job. And then whenever he gets the baby, I'm sure we will make it. I will be fucking vocal.
I will be live streaming it on Facebook, Twitch, our YouTube channel.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Juice coming out. Jose, turn the fucking phone on.
It's going to be in a hairnet and a mask.
Let's take a look. Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah. So, until next time.
Appreciate y'all.